Um, I would kind of say something in the lines that I try to teach my students, and that's not particularly COVID related, but it has some connections because my students always they're mostly pretty young, and of course, when you're that young, you often lack inspiration or drive. And for us people that are already drummers and were hit by this situation, always look a few steps ahead. Like right now, we can see the skies clearing. Sorry, not a native speaker. Sometimes you currently we see the sky clearing up a little bit, and so strive to be the next best version of yourself that you can be. So when these opportunities come back, that you are ready to grasp them.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Music Matters on That podcast. I'm your host Brian, and joining me today, hailing from Deutschland, Julian Kremer. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, or how we in Germany pronounce it, Julian Kremer,
Julian
but
Kremer.
that's fine.
Sorry, my German's not as great. I took 4 years of German in high school, and then they didn't have it at college, so I've kind of lost it. It's kind of a bit of a lost start now, so sorry if I mispronounce it.
I can relate. I'm not a fan of the language either.
Okay. All right, so how you doing? Where are you located at in Germany?
I am located in the west of Germany, a bigger town that is close to my hometown would be Cologne. Cologne is a somewhat bigger known city, and actually, a while back, a couple of years ago, actually, there was another city next to that called Bonn, and that was earlier the capital of Germany before the two parts of Germany have been brought back together after the split.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, you guys had the history, the Iron Curtain and everything all in and around Berlin. Then it kind of swoops down all around Eastern Europe too. So yeah, I'm pretty familiar with the story too. And I've actually been to Germany a couple of times, but I've stuck with the southern half. I've been to Munich twice, and then I actually saw King Ludwig II's castle, Neuschwanstein, and I think it's Fussen is the town.
That should be correct, yes.
I think it's it, but I'd probably look on the map. But we'll talk a little bit about Germany in just a second. But I like reaching out to drummers because you and me, we actually did a drum collaboration together. We did that Silverstein Given Up song.
Yes, we did. A couple of weeks ago already.
Something like that. It might actually even be a month by now because time's now just
Yeah,
fine. So, first of all, thank you so much again
that
for that. And that was actually a blast doing it with you, bud.
that was definitely a blast doing it. I remember having so much fun doing the cover while I was actually in a little bit of a bad mood because of a breakup, so
Mm.
that music took me right back out of that situation.
Kind of saved you too. So, I guess it ended up being a nice little therapy with a little breakup. So,
Yep.
so this podcast, I like to kind of reach out to people, trying to get to know them a little bit more, try to get to know their stories and everything. So, just got some questions here for you. So, are you ready?
Sure.
All right. So, let's start with the first question. Tell us a little bit about your drum history. How did you get into drumming?
How did I get into drumming? Well, I started very early, actually with sort of a marching snare. I guess in America the equivalent would be a marching band. Here in Germany, it's a little bit not quite as professional, I would say. And yeah, sometime around we had a drummer there, and then the drummer left, and then there was the question who would like to play the drums. And 13-year-old me said, "Yeah, I want to try." And someone back then said something not too nice to me. They said something along the lines of, "I'm not quite sure if you're smart enough for that." Um, And yeah, I took that as extra motivation, and I quit that band for a couple of years and went to my grandpa. And I asked my grandpa, so I do want to play an instrument. And my grandpa said, I think that's an amazing idea, and I will support you. I will pay for your lessons, but you got to finance your own instrument yourself. Then I went down the road and delivered newspapers for like a quarter of a year, scrapped together all the money I had from my birthday and from delivering newspapers, got my first drum set, and now we're here, like tons of bands, projects, starting to teach drums to the kids, and 1.5 years of YouTube drum covers.
You say you're also a drum teacher. Is that what you do as like your professional, or is that like another like a little side hustle?
That's a little side hustle.
Okay, I see. How is that? Was it kind of hard in the beginning, and then it just seemed to click after maybe a couple lessons?
It was a experiment in the first place because I at some point went back to that marching band as a drummer years after, and the kids in that band were also interested in learning the drums, and someone asked me, hey, couldn't you teach me? And I was like, I could think of some stuff to teach you. And then I developed like a little bit of a plan. And over the years, it was like basically hearsay. Hey, Julian teaches the drums to my kid. Your kid is interested in playing the drums. And so there, I have been teaching about 5 kids a week for like the last 8 to 9 years now.
I see. That's actually pretty cool, and I guess I kind of threw you on the spot right there too. So I guess that must have been hard, kind of a little stressful at the same time. So I can see what you mean, yeah, because it's in like I'm just trying this one, and then all of a sudden everybody else starts seeing how well of a teacher you are, and then it's like, oh my gosh, now I have all these kids and all these clients and all that stuff. So I guess have you fully embraced it now? Is this like something you want to turn into your professional career, or just kind of stick with what you're doing?
I want to see where this actually leads. Like now with the YouTube stuff, I want to see where that actually can lead. How big can I push this community, and maybe I can even start to build something bigger online drum school like. Just keeping the options that are available and just see how the future holds up in that particular regard.
Yeah, maybe you could actually teach somebody that's like overseas. So I know that's how everybody's switching. Like nowadays, it's now all online. First off, because of the pandemic, so now you just wanted to keep close and just do like these sorts of talks and everything. So you could probably see like a market for it at some point, but I guess I'll leave that up to you and see what you come up with. So best of luck to you going forward. Speaking of your YouTube channel, where'd you get the name Cremo Music?
Where did I get that name? That was actually something that is school related. Back when I was still in the equivalent would be high school, I would say. Back then, like the music that we did, like a month ago, Silverstein and that stuff was all the rage back then. And I always liked to dress in black clothes and listen to all that stuff, of all that kind of music. And so my nickname kind of became Emo, and that put together with my last name being Kremer. Then there was this running gag. Now I'm Cremo. That was my high school nickname. And then at a certain point later in life, I was like, it kind of has a nice ring to it, and used it as my online avatars for gaming and everything. And later on the YouTube channel, I was like, I'm using Cremo now as my online name for years, so I just slap on Cremo Music because I want to keep the door open to not just only do drumming stuff on the channel. So that's how the name came.
That's so sweet too. Yeah, it's amazing what you think of too, because the name of my podcast just really came along at some point too. It's like when you listen to any sort of things like political statements or stuff you maybe hear. Because I know there was like one that's like all music, and that's like one of the companies and magazine companies over here in the States that they talk about music too. So I think that was also where it came. Then you just start piecing it all together. Then you just put it as your name, and then that's what you kind of roll with too. So I think when I visited your channel a couple times, outside of drum covers, it looks like you've done live streams, and you were also saying that you're a bit of a gamer too. Do you have a wide variety on your YouTube channel?
Um, on my YouTube channel, not in particular that much of a wide variety. I did some live streams now on YouTube. However, I found my internet provider is not very good at the time, so it doesn't really work out very well. But I did live stream before the YouTube stuff on Twitch on a weekly basis, 2 to 3 times. I just found that not being my full passion. I just didn't really warm up to it, like being on the spot like 2 to 3 times a week. And then I was like, yeah, let me try videos and stream every once in a while. And hopefully, as soon as my internet provider switches back, then I will be able to do these drumming live streams again. And yeah, I am sort of a gamer nerd, but I channel that in on my drumming channel with all my Tuesday uploads, always being anime, gaming related music, and using the Sundays for, in quotations, normal music. That's how I keep my nerdism alive.
Yeah. What sort of games do you like get into? Is it really kind of any game, or is it more like the fantasy, first-person shooters, stuff like that?
It usually depends. Like I'm a huge nerd for all stuff Nintendo. That's my jam since my childhood. In my high school years and in my early 20s, I was like playing all the MMORPGs, World of Warcraft and stuff. And not too big of a shooter guy, even though my most played game in the recent years is Warframe, which is sort of a combination of World of Warcraft and like a shooter.
I think I was trying to remember Warframe. Was that thing? I was trying to remember if it was a friend that introduced me to that, because I haven't played it yet, but I think he had told me about it. I honestly can't remember, because I actually have not played my game in like a few months, because I kind of got into the fantasy kind of games, the Bloodborne, Dark Souls, and actually I was doing Mortal Shell, and I just started off, and I just did one day, and it wasn't like I hated it or anything like that. It was just like, I think I just need a break. And then I feel like I needed to like study it some more, because I feel like I'm going to get crushed if I don't know what I'm doing in this game.
Yeah, these Souls-like games, I own all of them, but finding the time to play them and learn the mechanisms for these hard games, it's it's on the list, but who knows when the time will be there for that.
I know when I've watched like other people do like their own little walkthroughs, it just seems like they'll focus on a particular section and maybe a boss. I'm not sure, but I think it seems to vary between people. So some people just do a whole stream and they just play the whole game for one day and stuff like that. So I don't know if I could ever do that. I might just get bored at some point. So if you ever want to think about it, best of luck to you. So I don't know. If that's something. Is that something you would do, or?
I tried it back when I did these live streams on Twitch. Like I did drumming, and every once in a while, after that I went just to my PC setup, switched from drumming into some game I'd like to play. But it didn't really work out for me, because I couldn't like game and talk with people. Like I could when I was playing MMORPGs, like with that kind of communication, but when I was doing gaming stuff on Twitch, I was like so focused on my game and couldn't even like cope with comments and chat and stuff. And I could do that very totally fine while doing the drumming in between songs interact with the chat. And yeah, the gaming stuff didn't really work out for me, but weird.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see what it goes down the road. So, get back into your channel. What are your goals for 2022 and beyond on your YouTube and social media channels?
I mean, for my social media channels in general, I don't look too much at them. I usually just use them to funnel stuff into my YouTube. I always said I wanted to do YouTube, but I kind of feel like one thing doesn't work without the other nowadays. And for YouTube, I do have goals. Goals for this year was definitely to work with other creators, work with other musicians from around my area, get them to experiment with me, do videos with me for my channel, and of course, like work together with as many drummers or also musicians around the platform. Like we did a collaboration. I just had 2 collaborations, then all these challenges, interacting with the community, like the blindfolded stuff and the jammy jam sessions. These things are just super fun, and I love the whole community aspect about this. And of course, the high stakes goals would be to reach the 1K club, but I think that's a little bit unreasonable for me this year. But we should never stop to dream.
One can certainly dream, that's for sure. I think I agree too. I recently just broke the 100 subscriber mark, but I know just trying to shoot all the way up to 1,000, unless you're like somebody who's like really well known or your material is like able to reach out to a very big, broad audience, it doesn't seem like you'll reach that in like 1 year or something like that. So I guess what are you at right now? You're like 400, 500 right now?
320. 320.
All right.
The turning point currently.
All right. Best of luck to you, buddy. Keep on going. Do you know to like be like some sort of influencer with your YouTube channel, or you just like trying to show like, here's my drum cover, here's how I did it, take it or leave it?
I mean, I like the whole community aspect of it. Like nowadays, I think everyone calls themselves influencer as soon as they start doing anything or trying to sell that stuff. For me, I like doing music, like doing drum covers, and I try to push out as many song requests, like actually interacting with the people that comment and tell me something that they want to hear, that they want to see. That's my kind of stuff. And I mean, if this grows and if there is opportunities to work with companies that I use anyway, of course, I would go down that road and try to influence, as they say.
Yeah. All right. That's good to hear. And best luck to you, buddy. Is your set nearby by any chance, or is it in a separate room?
Yeah, my set is in a separate room.
All right. I guess tell us the audience about your set right there, because when I was looking at it too, I was so busy looking at the flashing lights, I couldn't really see what the brand name of it was. So walk us through it.
My set is a Tama Superstar Hyperdrive, as it was called back then. It's a CSF finish. It's like a red to black fade. And I bought that in 2012. I bought it in 2012 for one of back then my new upcoming band projects, because I had a D drum before and it was kind of falling apart. And yeah, I've playing that Tama sets ever since. Back then I ordered it with 2 bass drums because we were doing all the metalcore heavy stuff back then, and nowadays I have the second bass drum just at the side because I don't have space for 2 bass drums, even though I would prefer to play them. Besides that, back then I also bought Sabian cymbals and played and loved them for over 10 years. But recently I tried out the Classics Custom Dual Series by Minor on a friend's set, and I was like, I need those, and I'm absolutely in love with them. That's basically about my set. Like the most stuff you can see clearly. 2 floor toms. I'm a mid tom player. The set came with a high tom, but I'm always more that deep tuner, more earthy sound. So I got rid of the high tom in favor of more space.
Yeah, I see too. Yeah. It seemed like you were kind of played well, unfortunate, when we were discussing back and forth in our messages, because I guess you kind of went through a little bit of a breakup, and I guess you said your water mattress had flooded or something like that, or
Yeah, that as well.
I know. I guess you were plagued with a lot of misfortune after our little collaboration, so
Yeah, but it's all back on track.
that's good to see.
Everything is going fine.
That's good. Yeah, I had to admit, when I was editing our video, when I was doing our collaboration, I had to admit that set looks pretty sick too. But I guess why the lights? Was it just to add to the effect instead of just like picking? Because some of the lights you see from like other drummers, it's like here's maybe 2 or 3 in station areas just to bring white light down and something like that. So
Yeah. The lights basically only exist because I own them. I own them because I also dabbled in like sound engineering, DJing, and stuff as my real side business for many years. And Venue was like, yeah, so I got these LED lights, so why not put them on my setup if I don't use them anyway? That was basically the whole idea.
it definitely has been helping out. I would definitely say it makes your drum covers look a lot more colorful as compared to just like bland kind of white light too, if it's just shining at you from different angles. So I'd say bravo on that. That was actually a smart move.
Yeah, I do say I like it, even though it was very irritating at first, but at some point you blend in. You don't even notice all the bling 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 in your eyes anymore.
Yeah, it comes with experience, as the saying goes. So, what kind of sticks do you use? Do you roll with Vic Firth, or is the Tama make their own sticks?
No, Tama is they're usually paired with ProMark. And I use ProMark for almost all of my life. I love the near peer custom series, and yeah, like the last few years, like 2019, 2020, or 2018, 2019, I always was like super disappointed at my ProMark sticks. They seem to last quite a few sessions longer before that. It felt like the quality was going down. They were breaking on me so fast, and I didn't really get it. And I was like, at some point, I got to try new stuff. And then when I was actually having these thoughts, Collision Drumsticks reached out and asked if I wanted to try them. And I was like, I need to try something new anyway, so why not try something you never heard of before? And I tried their sticks. They hold up way better than my ProMax used to. And what I especially love about their sticks is they have a special measurement, just a reach measurement. They are just a tiny bit longer, but feels so good to me. And yeah, so that was early 2022, early 2021. When they reached out, I tried it, I liked them, and played with them for about half a year. And the only thing that was a little bit annoying was the price to a certain extent. because all the shipping costs, because they come from England and I need to come to Germany. So initially the price looks fine, but then it gets tax on top and everything. And I asked them if they maybe have a retailer in Germany, but they don't. But they reached out, gave me like coupon codes, and we are in. I can't really say for certain right now, but there is probably an announcement very soon about Collision Drumsticks and myself.
Oh, so you're like a sponsor for them right now. And I also noticed that your hat says Collision too, so that explains what that one is.
And
the shirt, he has it all.
I have all the bling because I just I love the product, and it's just some things that need to get wrapped up, and then I probably very soon am officially endorsed by them.
That's sweet too, and that's one of the things they say when you make a YouTube channel. It's best to get sort of endorsements from like companies like Collision that you've recently got into. So it's great to see that you got that. Talk about your influences, because I heard you say about Neil Peart, and I assume, is he one of your influences, or do you have like many others?
Neil Peart is definitely, like, as far as drummers go, I would say my top three. It's always a little bit shifting. It's always Chad Smith from Chili Peppers, Neil Peart, and Mike Portnoy. Those three have always been my big three, even though I usually don't inspire too much by drummers. I usually am way more into the music, and like I need to listen to a band for a while before I'm like, what's actually that drummer's name? Even though it should be the opposite as a drummer, I guess. I'm always so music focused, but Portnoy and Peart always stuck out for me. I mean, partially because of my stepdad, because when I was getting into drumming, he was like, "Do you know of these bands?" And I was like, "No, never heard of them." And he was like, "Here, look at that concert DVD." And I was like 14 years old and see these giant drum sets, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm sold. I'm definitely into them." And of course, they are amazing. And of course, Neil Peart, rest in peace. Yes, unfortunate. And Portnoy, I gotta admit, I didn't follow too much anymore ever since he left Dream Theater. I recently discovered that one of his side projects with Liquid Tension Experiments actually got another LP, I think, at least. And the new Dream Theater stuff I listen to sometimes. I think Mike Mangini is a terrific drummer, but somehow the connection was lost a little bit. I don't know why. And Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers was always, like, when I started drumming, like, Chili Peppers were the first songs that just flew to me natural. I just could sit down, play Chili Peppers, and just enjoy myself.
I'm playing Dead in California too, I guess. So
yeah, it was one of the first. Yeah, definitely.
I think when it comes to Red Hot Chili Peppers, the first thing you always think of is the bass player Flea, because of how his crazy playing is too. So nobody really thinks too much about the drummers, which is kind of unfortunate. But that's pretty cool that you mentioned him as an influence. So it seems like most people though go for the Neil Peart and the Mike Portnoy as like the biggest influences. Those seem to be the biggest ones. They don't seem to give Mike Mangini much credit either. So I guess, what's your opinion about him? Did you listen to any of his material?
I actually I got to know him through the because I followed that, at least. I followed the auditions from Dream Theater from all the drummers, and I ever so often get videos from Mike's YouTube channel actually, and the videos he does, and I always like them. And I think, like, he's a genius. Like, the stuff that he invents the time into his ambidextrous playing, and like, the guy is definitely deserving of everything that he's gotten. it's just like that dream theater has fallen off for me just because of that deep connection that I had to Portnoy. And I think if that wouldn't have been the case, I would like be all Mike Mangini.
I see. Yeah. I know me and a friend of mine from Greece, we had actually did a drum cover from the Mike Podroy era. It was The Root of All Evil, which we recently done. So
yeah,
just kind of apologize. The air conditioner kicked on behind me too. So that's some of the noise you're hearing back there. So it happens.
I have the same.
All right. So just guess continue on. Would you ever consider maybe having an electronic drum set, in order to maybe make it like a percussion or something like that?
I do actually own electric sets. I think it's my second electric set that I own ever since I started drumming. I got one pretty early, like after I got rid of my first like very, very cheap drum set and got my first real drum set. I got an electric kit as well, because I wanted to practice whenever I was allowed to, or even more. And electric drum set just have that that functionality to practice sort of quiet, yeah. And that's why I got it. And I always use my electric drum kit for at least for teaching, because it's basically my second drum set up in the room. And if I ever would need it for something very specific, I probably would just take one of the pads to generate an additional sound that I need. But usually I always try to work around the sounds and create them somehow naturally instead of using samples. I don't know why. It's not that I don't like it. It just feels more natural to me to go acoustic all the way.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I guess it feels more real as compared to like the electronic set. Just at least imitates the sounds from like whatever they used, and they incorporate it into the module, the so-called brain, and then it just simulates the sound whenever you hit it. So I can see what you mean there. So I don't think it's good using too many samples. Maybe it's sometimes if you just want to incorporate it into like a song you're trying to form together. I can see why like there, but to each his own too. So let's see, what question did I forget? I guess talk about COVID. How bad did it affect your community and you personally?
I mean, if you say community, I would say like my city and surroundings were hit quite drastically in a way, because there is like a huge tradition around these parts of Germany. Like we call it, the German word is Karneval, yeah, and that's basically a celebration from mid-November till around the early spring, where there is all sorts of parties related to a certain kind of like music and parties, like where you masquerade yourself and stuff. And that's very big in this community around here. And all these things just fell off. So that's where the people, I guess, suffered mentally the most. And for me personally, this was also a very big, let's say, financial loss, because my main side hustle besides my IT job was basically the sound engineering stuff that I built that up over years, working on weekends, doing all over the year, like parties, weddings, doing sound engineering for small concerts and stuff. And like in this time period where all these carnival parties happen, I had so much work and so much stuff to do. And I actually got lucky in all of that, because the plan was to leave my IT job in the middle of 2020 and go full time into sound engineering and being self-employed. Luckily, that was planned for the middle of 2020, and I could put a hold on these plans and not quit my IT job as the early lockdown in, I think, March was it in Germany hit. So I kind of got lucky, even though it affected me quite substantially for the future plans. And yeah, after like recovering from that, I did many courses to go deeper into my IT career and reorient the stuff I do at work. So I get the needed, I got the needed pay grades to actually make up for all the stuff that falls off now and slowly starts to come back now. So there's always still a door open now that stuff turns back a little bit normal. And yeah, since I lost that side hustle, I was like, I guess I got time for a hobbyist project, because this sound engineering stuff also started out as a hobbyist project. I bought a PA for our old band, and at one point when I was like 18 or 19, someone said, hey, you have a PA system, can't you play some songs at my birthday party? And from there, that developed over the years, went pretty big, went almost to full-time self-employment, but then COVID happened. And then I was like, okay, let's start a new hobby that could potentially some way down the line turn into something. And since I need to be at home all the time and I didn't drum too much the last 2 years, why not combine all these things together into a YouTube project?
That's sweet, yeah. And I know in pretty much most of my interviews, everyone has said how COVID had been a blessing in disguise, because it allowed them to do those hobbyist projects that you mentioned, getting into YouTube and then try to form some sort of presence on social media. So it's good to see that it worked out, even though it seems like you lost that sound engineering that seemed to be a passion that you were perhaps shooting for. Maybe you wanted to, did you were thinking of leaving your IT job and then get into sound engineering if it really took off, if COVID didn't hit?
Yeah, that was the initial plan. I did my IT job post high school, and it is a family business. And after doing that for a couple of years, I actually decided and said to my family, like, I don't see myself doing this for my whole life, especially the parts that I was doing back then, because it was all software development and coding. And I was like, I need to do something in my life that has at least to do with music. And I picked up this side hobby because of music as DJing and stuff. So I basically went to a school that only teaches at the evenings and got my sound engineer degree while actually working in IT. And since that side hustle grew so big, like, we as a family decided, like, I could basically quit and go full time, and it should be smooth sailing. But then the unexpected hit.
Do tell, yeah. It seems to affect everybody, really. And I know it kind of blindsided me, too, because I didn't think I was going to be stuck at home for 2 years. And that happened in March 2020. And you're thinking, like, okay, we're just going to be home maybe a couple weeks, and then we'll just go back in the office, and maybe it will be some sort of bug, but maybe it won't be as bad as we think it's going to be. So I guess it's good to see that you're doing well. And I guess, are you slowly starting to get back into sound engineering, or do you think that's something that you might just put back on the back burner until it officially looks like we can move on?
For me, it's still a door open, because actually currently there is requests incoming again. I do have a couple of weddings this summer that I need to soundproof, yeah, and DJ and stuff. And there is also a very, very bright looking future for this big carnival season in Germany happening again this year. And because I had the jobs before, of course, luckily most of them come back to me and say, hey, are you still doing this, or would you still do this if we had events again? So there's already a couple of events in my calendar, but I'm just I don't want to hype myself up again if anything goes south. I just have it marked in my calendar, and if it happens, it happens.
All right, sounds good. And hopefully you get back into something you love right there, because I know meaning in the workplace seems to be something that the higher ups just like never understand with like the lower level employees who are the ones doing most of the dirty work and stuff like that. So I kind of understand maybe you're not crazy about your IT job, and I don't know if you want to get into it too much, or if is your workers, are they all okay? Like, is there anything like that in your IT job or anything like that?
No, not really. It's like I said, it's really a small family business. We're basically just my stepdad, my mom, and myself, and sometimes two of my stepsister and my stepbrother sometimes help out if there is anything needed. And we worked together pretty well. And for me, back then when I said like, hey, I want to do this sound engineering stuff like in the evenings, and I pay for that myself. Like at that point, my stepdad was a little bit disappointed in a way because he hoped that at some point I would take over the family business, because his children said they are not interested. And we had a little bit of a bad mood for a while, but since he also is very much into music and also encouraged me learning the drums besides my granddad, like he came around and say, seems like you have a pretty substantial passion for that stuff. And yeah, we came around, and like currently the most uplifting thing from all of that is that me starting the YouTube stuff and learning editing and doing that on my own, like my stepdad, like since he is my boss, like he picked up on that, and my duties are shifting a little bit because he wants me to do videos for our business. Of course, not drum covers, but it's still a fun part of the whole thing, editing videos and stuff. And so my IT job is slowly shifting into something that I like doing way more. So basically everything worked out kind of fine.
That's good to hear. Do you think he might integrate your sound engineering as like maybe, we'll say conglomerate, because I don't know, would it be like two separate things and then just like mold it all into one business?
That's stuff that we talk about all the time, and that we have actually planned for the future, because we are basically back into that, me at some point taking over the family business, but slowly but surely preparing it. So I have the doors open to say, for example, if the whole sound engineering stuff comes back and there's regular events, instead of me doing that self-employed, we do it under the family business, open up a branch, establish that this family business also does sound engineering. And whenever my parents want to retire at some point, I can say, okay, this is the situation right now. I do IT during the week, and maybe I do some events on the weekend, or I can just focus on one of the things that make the most sense at that point in time.
That's good to hear. And best luck to you going forward with that. And hopefully you can form that and something that you love too. So when it comes to editing your videos, what do you use to edit them?
I used a bunch of things over the years. Or I mean, it's 1.5 years. I started dabbling into editing a little bit further than that. So far, I used, at least for work, I started for working with Camtasia once, but that's more for screencasting. Of course, you can still import anything. But then for a while, I had a very, very old Mac. And on my Mac, I did all my recording stuff that I learned doing the sound engineer stuff. I am a Apple certified professional for Logic and also for Final Cut, which I mainly use nowadays. But since my old Mac couldn't run Final Cut anymore because of the graphics processor and the update was mandatory, I used Sony Vegas on Windows, and also I tried some freewares here and there. Then my PC broke down, wouldn't boot anymore, so I needed to uncover an old Linux system and cut my videos for a while with a totally free-to-use software on Linux, and then I invested in a new Mac, and now it's basically all down to Logic and Final Cut. The software that I know how to use the best, basically.
Is it the new Mac right behind you right there, or is that just for storage and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, this is still the packaging for that Mac that I'm now working on. It's now since when do I got it? I mean, almost a year. I got it August last year.
That's sweet too. Is that? Cause I know I got a new Mac too. I wish I could remember. Is that the newest version right now that they have going out?
Yeah, I think there is a new processor nowadays, the M1 or something, but this machine like a year ago was basically the upper echelon of what you could get. So this will last for a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I know this one too. Well, I kind of wish I had got more space and maybe bumped up the RAM maybe a little bit more on this computer, because now I have to always keep going through to like delete some videos or photos that I have that are taking up space. So it's kind of a little bit of a hassle, but I think when I get a new computer next time, I'm just going to say, give me 2 terabytes or however high they go, to be honest. So, and the other good news is that the AC finally shut down for the time being, so we at least don't have to keep muting in and out. So, all right. So, seeing as we reach this part of the interview, I now give my interviewees a little bit of freedom to ask me anything, or if there's anything you'd like to get off your chest. So, fire away.
Since I can ask you something, like when and how did your drum journey start, actually?
I actually made a YouTube video about it, and I was a strings guy for most of my life, from 3rd grade all the way through high school. I didn't take it with me to college, even though that probably would have been nice, but they didn't have a strings program there, so I played in songs like the Beethovens, Tchaikovskys, and we also did Pirates of the Caribbean, songs like those. So it was fun, and I think when I was searching for a new instrument, and I think we got Rock Band. That was something me and my family actually played along the first couple times, and it was actually fun. And at some point, I started taking up the drums from Rock Band, and you just have the red, yellow, blue, and green, and the orange foot pedal. For some reason, I just kept going at it, and we upgraded it to the Rock Band 3, so that included the hi-hat, the ride, and the one crash. So my parents realized then it wasn't just a fad that was just going to wear down over time, and they asked me like, hey, you want to take up drums? I was like, sure, but they went the acoustic set because sound travels real easily throughout my house. So doing that was going to be a big no-no, but they were fortunate enough to find the electric sets. And I forget what my first one was, but the one I roll with now that I did in our drum collaboration was the Roland TD 25K. Sorry. And I've just been rolling with that ever since. Some fixes here and there because the snare pad was starting to tear after blast beating for so long too. So, well, that's my drum story, the short version at least.
That's interesting. From strings to drums, I dabbled a little bit, but I never could stuck to anything else.
Did you like play another instrument before jumping into drums? Were you a strings guy too?
Um, Only the 6 strings from, no, it's 14 strings, I think, from the marching snare. That were my only strings.
I see.
So I had like a couple of weeks of guitar lessons while I had my drum lessons.
Hmm.
That was everything. And it didn't work out because I had an electric guitar and I needed to practice my electric guitar downstairs so it doesn't annoy the family. And whenever I went downstairs, my drum set was staring at me and I was like, okay, I'm not going to play the guitar now. I'm going to play the drums.
Yeah.
I'm here anyway.
It hypnotized you or it sucked you in with its magic or something like that, whatever we want to call it.
Exactly.
I guess any other questions?
Any other questions?
Or anything you just want to say?
One question that would be very interesting to me is because I'm always on the lookout, and I'm always interested how other drummers and YouTubers go about their workflow. Do you go just from song to song, or do you try to record a couple of songs or videos and then just edit them down piece by piece?
I do it song by song. I was actually thinking at first, did I just randomly pick a song and just go with it? No, this one, to answer your question, I pick a song or maybe two. Sometimes I may do two maybe at once. And I use MIDI and then I go through it. I make corrections to make it sound like as best or as close as I can to the song. As soon as I get that, I export it to my desktop. Then I go put it on Final Cut Pro, which is what I use for my editing software too. And then I'll put it in there, and then all I just need is just the video. Once I get the video, I just match it all up to the audio. Just go from there, see how it looks, make sure it's not too drastic. I used to be a little bit of a perfectionist back then, but I think, see it as most people love doing it for fun, including yourself. I would say now I'm just like, if I just do little mistakes, it's totally fine at this point. So it just shows that I'm human. But I'm not looking at drum sheet music. It's just my MIDI and the files that I have on my desktop that acts as my sheet music. But I'm only listening by ear, so I'm just hoping that I did it all right. If not, then it's just like, okay, it was at least a good shot.
That's, especially what you said, like you have the sheet music, but you try to play by ear is something that I practice myself. Because I can write sheet music. I write sheet music for my students because I always think it's like important that we can communicate in that sort of way. But I also do all my covers by ear, and I also have the same approach. I really want to sit down and record and just edit that, but it somehow never works out.
Well, yours is a little simpler because since you're not using like MIDI or anything like that, you have all the microphones plugged in here and there, so you're just picking up the sound. I would say maybe you just have to like listen to the song maybe so many X amount of times, but I guess it still takes a little bit because if you're trying to do so many at once, it starts messing up all up in the head too. So maybe you start mixing in patterns that shouldn't be there. So something like that. So
yeah, for me it's usually like I take like 2, maybe 3 songs, practice them 1 or 2 days, and then one after the other, I basically sit down, record A. After I'm done recording A, I'm practicing a little bit of B again. Next day, I'm recording B. And if I get to C, which usually doesn't happen that as well, but it's usually A and B, so I have my videos for Sunday and Tuesday.
Hmm. All right. To each his own, and I guess we'll see. Maybe at some point, maybe it would be nice to try to do 2 or 3, but it's hard business doing 2 jobs and doing this podcasting and trying to do drum covers and all. Because I want to make this my profession at some point, but obviously, it doesn't happen overnight, and it's a long process going up. So you can probably guess how that feels.
Yeah.
All right.
I can definitely relate to that.
All right. So, any other questions or anything you want to ask before we jump to the last question?
I guess currently I'm all good.
I guess, have you ever been to America? I just wanted to ask.
Sadly, no. I have a bunch of traveling that I still have on my bucket list.
I guess, where would you want to go in the States? Just to be honest.
I mean, definitely both coasts. I definitely want to, like, since I'm a huge nerd, I love the aesthetics of New York, of course, Spider-Man, everything, and just from experiencing movies and stuff, and of course the other side, Hollywood. That's definitely the two most prominent places I do want to travel in America.
That'd be sweet. And
Grand Canyon would be number 3, I guess.
Grand Canyon. Actually, there's a lot of national parks out there in the West too, so don't just limit yourself to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, I mean, in general, that area.
All right. If you come out here, make sure you shoot me a message too. I could probably try to help you out, but I'm stuck in the state of Pennsylvania, so we got Deutschland. We have a Germantown, as we call it, but you get the idea. But that one wasn't the last question, but this one, it's more so, and this is one of the questions I normally like to ask all my drummers who come on here just to do a little interview and just to see what their opinion is. So, given what COVID has done with us drummers and people all around the world too, I guess, what sort of message of hope can you give to drummers who are perhaps struggling to get their life back on track?
I would kind of say something in the lines that I try to teach my students, and that's not particularly COVID related, but it has some connections, because my students always they're mostly pretty young, and of course when you're that young you often lack inspiration or drive. And for us people that are already drummers and were hit by this situation, always look a few steps ahead. Like right now we can see the skies clearing. Sorry, not a native speaker. Sometimes currently we see the sky clearing up a little bit, and so strive to be the next best version of yourself that you can be. So when these opportunities come back, that you are ready to grasp them, and see that you're not getting overwhelmed by, oh no, now these opportunities are here and I'm not prepared. Practice and see that you're ready for any opportunity that comes up, because I'm pretty sure that they will come up.
Okay, sorry, I just wanted to pause there just to see if you were throwing anything else. So, spoken like a true prodigy. Thank you so much, man. We are almost out of time, so just the last couple bit. So you said you're close to Cologne. That's along the Rhine, correct?
Yeah, exactly. My city actually is called Linz am Rhein.
Oh shit! I think it was actually. I was trying to remember because I thought there was a city along the Danube. It was called Linz too, but I think that was in Austria. Believe it or not.
Exactly. That also exists. There's more than one Linz.
I see. Okay, yeah, that was the one I was on. I was thinking oh crap, we probably could have ran into each other. But I guess what can you tell any tourists who want to go to Cologne or Linz, and what can you tell them about that along the Rhine River?
along the Rhine, there's especially it's very beautiful. If you get to Cologne yourself, you have lots of stuff to watch out for, like the big churches and stuff. And if you go basically down the river of the Rhine, down the south, you get into this beautiful area, especially if you're a wine lover. There is huge regions of regional wine being produced all along the Rhine.
I see, yeah. And it was on my bucket list at some point, but I think we were always looking at it. I don't know, is that like, I know they do like one long trip. It goes from Amsterdam, and I don't know if it goes in part of the Rhine and then sweeps into the Danube and then goes all the way to Bucharest at some point. I know there was one of those extremely long trips, and I always tied it up, but I don't know if that's part of it. I don't know, but definitely get into the Rhine and maybe seeing some historical stuff because I know there's a lot of stuff involving World War II there too. So that would be interesting to see at some point whenever we get back to Europe. Because I know last time we were there, me and my parents, we had just went to London first, and then we took the channel all the way to Paris. So there's a lot of stuff there too. And it would be nice to get back to Germany and get back to my roots and everything. So we've reached the end of the podcast here, Julian. I guess, do you have any shout outs or any last words you want to give before we close out completely?
Thank you for having me. That was a very new experience, and it was definitely fun talking to a fellow drummer and YouTuber. We are active in the same communities, basically, and I love every day of it.
I was trying to think of something in German to say because I have German in my blood too. So my Blut is Deutsch or something like that. I don't know if I said it right, but I gave it my best shot. So you know what I mean. Guess any shout outs or anything?
Um, I mean, shout outs.
To
What could I
subscribers
shout
or
out?
any other drummers who kind of influenced you?
Um, to other drummers that kind of influenced me. I mean, most of us knew him. Big influence was actually Drumman 190. Once upon a time, 2019, I stumbled across one of his videos and was like, hey, he is a pretty chill personality, and maybe I could do something like that as well.
Hmm. Yeah, Drummond, he's been a huge help to us, as well as Ash Wells too. They've been big helps in our
Ash
community.
is also great.
All right.
I mean, semi shout out to Ashton. Someone dropped out of the 16 drummer collab, and I squeezed in that should be Sunday if everything goes right from now on, as Ash told me.
Yeah, I know I gotta get my bit in there too, so I'm gonna work on it this week and just get it out of the way. I had a bunch of drum covers I was working on because it's Memorial Day weekend coming up, so I wanted to pay tribute for the following week with 2 drum covers. So stay tuned for that one.
I will.
All right, Julian, I want to thank you so much for coming on. Everyone, my guest today was Julian Kremer out of Deutschland, aka Germany, for those who just know English and all that. All right, Julian, we'll stay in touch. Maybe we can get together and do another drum collaboration at some point, but stay safe.
Definitely.
Stay tuned.
Goodbye.